Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Synopsis Geek. Today I have another Oscar review for you guys. You know, it is that Oscar season, right around the time where I start seeing all the Oscar films. And the question is this film Oscar worthy? Let's find out, right? So the film I'm going to talk about today is a film in the name of Dallas Buyers Club. From what I understand, it's based on a true story. And it stars, it's written by a guy by the name of Craig Morton and Melissa Wallach, directed by a guy by the name of Juan Mark Val, and forgive me if I pronounce his name wrong. And it stars actors by the name of Matthew McConaughey, Jennifer Garner, Jared Leto, Dennis O'Hare, and Steve Vaughn. And pretty much what Dallas Buyers Club is all about. Matthew McConaughey's character, he's diagnosed with HIV, and it's pretty much about his. I mean, other things happen in the film. I don't want to say too much though if you don't know the true story. But it's pretty much about Matthew McConaughey living with the HIV or the AIDS virus, and pretty much about the way that society was back then, the way that society treated him being looked down upon. Jared Leto plays a character by the name of Rayon in it, and that's pretty much the plot of the movie. Matthew McConaughey, they end up. I don't want to say any more because I don't want to reveal the plot of the movie, but I don't want to say too much to spoil things. Matthew McConaughey pretty much living with HIV and having to struggle with the disadvantages, obviously, that virus brings. Him getting sick, the way society treated him, and that's pretty much the gist of the film in the name of Dallas Buyers Club. Now, obviously, just like I did with the Wolf on Wall Street review, that was, I will always ask myself, are these films Oscar worthy? The Wolf on Wall Street was. Well, I have to say, so was Dallas Buyers Club. I love Dallas Buyers Club. It was such a great movie. Let's talk about some of the performances. Matthew McConaughey really stole the show for me in this movie. He was so cool. I loved his character. I love the way his character acted. I love how his character almost has a transition of the film. He goes from being like this guy that, and I hate to use these words, certain words, for gay, but that's used several times in the movie, so I'm not going to, the F word. I don't want to say the word to offend anyone. But he goes from being like this guy that hates, that isn't really into it, and then he slowly becomes friends with, Jared Leto's character. There will be spoilers in this video, just so you guys know. And he slowly becomes friends with Jared Leto, and he ends up defending him. And one of my favorite scenes is actually, it takes place in a grocery store, where he takes the guy and chokes him, and he forces this guy to shake the hands of Jared Leto's character. And it was a great scene. One of my favorite scenes later on, major spoiler coming up right now, is actually when Jared Leto's character dies, and Matthew McConaughey comes in, and he's pissed because they gave him too much of the ACT pill and all that kind of stuff, and he gets pissed at Dylan O'Hare's character, the doctor, and I love that scene with Matthew McConaughey. I love the whole progression of him, I love how he proves everyone wrong, the doctor told him he was only going to live for 30 days, and he lived for several years after the events took place, and I love how he's just, he has this whole, Dallas Buyers Club, obviously, he has this whole, drug business where he's helping people, and though he's doing it illegally, though these drugs are, unapproved by the FDA, he's still making a difference. I love his character, that he's determined to make a difference. He doesn't care what anybody has to say. He's going to make a difference. He's going to do whatever he can to help people out. And it's crazy the story afterwards. I mean, when you watch the whole thing and you find out that the FDA allowed him to use, after everything was said and done, they allowed him to use the drugs for his own personal use. Now, you know what he did. He took the drugs himself and then probably sold them to other people. But I loved how they let him, after everything was said and done, it all paid off in the end. I love the whole concept. That it's a crazy true story when you think about it. If the whole, movie is based off the entire true story, then, I don't know if they changed anything or not. But either way, crazy stuff, right? Matthew McConaughey definitely plays a great role. There's some great camera shots in there, some great camera angles, nice close-ups, interesting stuff going on, and the whole, camera angle department. Overall, I did some really good, especially towards the very beginning, like the opening scene where Matthew McConaughey's character is having sex, where he ends up getting HIV virus for the first time, and especially, the camera looking through, looking through, where they keep the bulls at, some very interesting camera angles that I really enjoyed. They made overall for an interesting experience. Jared Leto playing the role of Rayon, I believe the character's name. Overall, I thought an average performance. In my opinion, no offense, not that the performance was bad or anything, but not really Oscar worthy. I thought Jared Leto was decent in the film. His character, he was given a decent amount of screen time, but in my opinion, not enough screen time for him to be worthy of an Oscar. But I thought he was decent. If he ends up winning, kudos to him. If not, I definitely think Jared Leto was a decent performance, but I really think, honestly, Matthew McConaughey's character really outshined him and really stole the show. Jared Leto, in my opinion, really didn't have any scenes that, really made him, worthy. But he was solid in the film, and overall, I thought he was pretty decent in the film. So that's pretty much my opinion on Dallas Buyers Club. Jared Leto, or not Jared Leto, but Matthew McConaughey really runs this film. That's the reason you watch the film. His performance and it overall makes it for a satisfying experience. The whole story, doing good, kind of has a moral in it too. So that's pretty much my review of the film in the name of Dallas Buyers Club. Once again, thanks for watching another video by Centipede Geek. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to my page below, and I'll see you guys later for more videos by Centipede Geek.